Hey guys, this is a midweek analysis for February 1st of 2023. Okay, we'll start off with the dollar Swiss pair. This is a daily chart. Let me run you by the setup I was looking at. Alright, so the last daily long trade, that form was right here. And the last daily short trade, that form was right here about a week ago. And going strictly from the price element of this short trade against this long trade, the strength differential was about even. And so I was watching the lower time frames to see if we could get some lower confirmation to confirm this bias. However, that confirmation never came, and just yesterday, its main target of this pivot high was hit. And so this daily bias is reset to neutral at this point. Okay, so let's quickly review what happened on the lower time frames. Let's go over to the 1 hour chart. Okay, so on this 1 hour chart, that daily bias's risk parameters was between this pivot high and this pivot low. Now, if you recall, we had a possible confirmation of that daily bias being long through this trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here, with a breakout and immediate break back in, our price reaching that pivot high to create strong long strength. However, to me, this did not confirm strong long strength, for the pivots of this trend line were not equal enough. Okay, then as price ranged about the following week, I was looking at this trend line from this pivot to this pivot to see if we could get some lower confirmation. However, price did not reach that trend line, and just this week, that main target was hit right here. Okay, so in this case, if I did take this strong long strength into consideration and confirm this bias to be long, if you just look at results, the main target was hit along with that confirmation. However, you want to remember a basic rule that if you have any doubt about lower confirmation, you should rule it out at that point, because in the long term, being strict with your lower time frame confirmation rules will save you from many failed trades, and more importantly, it'll help your technique in finding legitimate lower confirmations. Okay, so the daily bias is back to neutral on this pair, and I'll keep you guys updated when there's new weekly or daily biases. All right, so let's go on to the Cadjpy pair. Okay, this is a daily chart. Let me run you by the current setup I'm looking at. So the last daily short trade, that form was right here. And the last daily long trade, that form was right here about 2 weeks ago. And so the risk parameters is between this pivot high and this pivot low. Now let me go ahead and show you what I'm looking at in terms of lower confirmations. Let's go over to the 1 hour chart. Okay, so on this 1 hour chart, the daily risk parameters is between this pivot low and that top level being roughly at these levels right here. Now we just got strong long confirmation confirmed from this trend line, from this pivot to this pivot right here. As you can see, there's a breakout and immediate break back in. However, as price ranged around this week, price came up to that pivot high right here to create strong long strength. And so at this point, that daily bias is confirmed to be long. Or in other words, the main target is at this pivot high right here, while the main stop loss is at this pivot low right here. And so at this point, if I could get a pullback right back down to this 96 to 95.50 levels, roughly in these areas, I'll be willing to take a long entry. Again, with the stop loss at this pivot low and its main target right here. Now keep in mind, I'll only take this long entry if there is no further confirmation of strong short strength. And there is a possible level on the 4 hour chart for that to happen. So let's go over to the 4 hour chart. Okay, so on this 4 hour chart on this trend line from this pivot to this pivot. Now as price pulls back to my entry point, if price breaks this out, immediately breaks back in. However, if price comes back down to that pivot low, that's going to confirm strong short strength and actually confirm that daily bias to be short. Okay, so if this situation happens, even if price pulls down to my entry level, I will not be taking a long entry. Okay, and that's it for the midweek analysis. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.